Hello there, I'm Dejan and welcome to a new video. Um, I honestly didn't want to do this kind of video. I thought about doing it and I said no, it's okay, there is already enough people saying this. Do a couple of tweets, you're good. You don't need to add your voice in this. You know, there is already been enough people saying what's wrong with this game. But then I played ranked, I played lobby. Then today I played Virtua Fighter Rebo for the first time, and then I played Lobby on Tekken again with Chad the Third. It's incredible. It's incredible how poor the decision making for this game has been. It's incredible how big the lies in this game from the directors, from the faces in this game have been. It's just insane. Insane. I remember months ago when it was one of my first time in Mike Hollow's podcast, you know, and Frame Whisper was there and he said it. It was still everyone was believing in the game. He was believing, you know, the game is out for 6 months. It's gonna get better. They always fuck it up at the beginning, and Frame Whisper said it. They lied to our face. I rather lied to our face all the time. And at the time I was like, okay, yeah, but maybe I wasn't thinking this time is different. I just didn't have these instances clear in my mind. But obviously since then I've been following Tekken as close as I've never done before in my life, and he was right. He was just right. And I remember me saying that Season 2 was supposed to be, after Egg Magi Temple, was supposed to be the last chance. The release of Season 2 was the moment, in my mind, at that time, where Tekken would have been Tekken. And that hope vanished after the Tekken talk. It completely vanished. And I clearly said, the only chance that Season 2 to be good has, this was after the Tekken talk, is that basically in every single move, they said they reduce the hitbox, they reduce the hurtbox, and that's the only way the tracking, that counter hitting when you sidestep something is not gonna punish you as much because you get counter hit by everlasting strings. But obviously I knew already that that was a 0.01% possibility. What we got instead, well, is what we've all been experiencing for 2 days. And I'm glad I waited. And because it's not just me. It's not just me, a scrappy Tekken player. It's literally everyone now. I have in front of me the Steam reviews. And I don't remember the last time that something so bad happened. Something so bad was seen. This is almost a point of non-return. It is definitely a point of non-return for the series, either way. They either do a U-turn, or, well, Tekken is over as we know it, and Tekken is the Smash Brothers outside of Nintendo, and it takes the spot the Multiversus failed to take. It becomes just a party game. They managed to destroy player expressions, you know, with setups, homogenizing all the characters in a way that is something that I've never seen. They didn't give stances to characters like Kazuya or Brian because they know that it would be even bigger, the complaint, if Brian gets a stance. But basically they made his stance is the crouch. The crouch state, and you can transition crouch state for many different situations now. And really, like, for me, in my personal instance, Tekken 8, I wasn't enjoying it as much in Season 1 as a ranked game, but still, you know, there were matchups that were okay. Half of the matchups were fine, and I was still enjoying fighting them. There were still the characters that were bullshit, but with some toning down, the game would have been alright. It might not have been my bread and butter, I would have preferred something more grounded, less flashy, with no heat, yes, but it was acceptable, it was enjoyable, it was fun to play until a certain extent. Very stressful, way more stressful than Tekken 7. But lobbies, playing lobbies with you guys, play lobbies in Shambolic Showdown with mics, or Chad the Third, channel streams, it was fun. Playing with you guys, it was genuinely fun. It really made me discover a side of Tekken and of fighting games that I never had the pleasure to discover before, because I come from a village in the countryside in Italy, and all my friends did not play Tekken, and did not want to play Tekken with me, because I knew which button to press and I would smoke them. So that was for me a very nice discovery, probably the biggest joy, one of the biggest joy that this channel was giving me, is doing a live and seeing people coming over and playing with you and seeing you coming back and playing with you again. That was great. Since Season 2, I had a long session of Ranked, which was torture, just torture, there is no other way to describe it, and I had a couple of lobbies. I did lobbies like 2 or 3 times. And the amazing thing that Season 2 managed to do is to make me lose the enjoyment, even when I should just playing only for fun. When I'm not playing for a badge, for a PNG, when I'm not playing for the shit, when I'm not playing to win, when I'm playing to having fun and to enjoy and to do some Rambo Bush and show what I can do with my character, the cool stuff I can do with my character. But there is no more cool stuff that my character can do. There is no more cool stuff that characters can do. They removed everything of that. Because now what I have to do is land an hit engager, going to crouch, and either do a mid or a low, or do a +7 on block low that can go into crouch, and do a mid or a low. Or, like, this is what they want to do. And having all the frames moving in the same way with every character, it's really the death of a video game that was basing everything into character identity. They've been preaching this bullshit of we want to enhance character diversity, we want to enhance character identity, Hit is gonna enhance character identity. No, Hit destroyed character identity. You removed it already because everyone could go in crazy frames, and on top of that you decided that the best way to balance was to cover every single character weakness. And for someone that plays by instinct, by knows the strengths of the characters and what they do and what they don't do, he knows the characters, what are their strengths and what are their weaknesses. Seeing what you have done is mind-blowing. Is just flattening out the experience. Why nerfing? Let me get into this very quickly. Why nerfing the straight up key weakness of the character is a bad decision? Because having the weakness doesn't mean that you cannot do anything in the specific case. Doesn't mean that Warren doesn't have any low. But it means that the player always have to think about a counterplay to basically be sure to cover his weak spot with the character. Why heavy moves that are just safe mid and homing is completely destroying of characters that have an average of 120 moves in their move list? Because if I have the move that basically is mid, safe or plus frames and homing, why do I use a move that sidestep that tracks on the left when I see that my opponent sidestep left? And why don't I use a move that sidestep right when my opponent sidestep on the right? Why would I not use something like that? Because I have a perfect move. So what do I need? 2 other moves that actually work together and requires activation of my brain to use it. And to me, seeing that people get paid probably a decent amount of money for their job, And they take this decision, and I'm not blaming on the programmer and the designers. I'm blaming the leaders now. I'm blaming the directors now. The people, the boards that sit around on a table and say, oh, yeah, we have a lot of people that complains about the 50-50 and aggressiveness in this game being too much. We have been review bombed twice. Season 2 is obviously in a fighting game the turning point. How do we act? More of the same. Are you sniffing glue? Then you roll it and smoke it. You pass it around all happily together in your meeting rooms. Guys. Because there is no other way to justify something like this. You destroyed this game. You destroyed the Tekken identity. And I played Virtua Fighter 5 for 2 hours today. And don't get me wrong, I know that I'm gonna get smoked for a long time in the game, but I can see what's happening on the screen. I can understand what's happening. I can see that there is counterplay. Here there is no counterplay. If you say that you buff defense, it doesn't justify buffing offense even more, so that basically there is just an extra nerf in defense now. And one last thing I want to add. Let's talk about balancing, shall we? Now, balancing in Tekken 8 is always like people were saying, because the main mouse we will say this, Tekken 8 is the most balanced game because every character is viable and every character is strong. And in Season 1, you can agree with this. I honestly think the power creep was too high, but basically, apart for the top 3, I saw Dragunov as a bit in between. Let's say the top 5, let's put Dragunov and Bear with Nina, Jin and Yoshi. They needed basically an adjustment. The top half of the characters, they just needed some tweaking, Brian, make him linear is fine. Make him very linear is fine. And other characters, another adjustment. I'm not gonna go one by one, but this kind of adjustment. Instead, you just rise the power creep. People, you've been complaining about Brian combo damage in the game since Season 1. What you were saying, Brian is too touched of that. He was, yes, he still is. He still is. The pair and Heihachi had more damage. Anyway. But now everyone has same damage as Brian, if not better. And everyone has better wall carry than Brian. And, yeah. Well, guess you're happy now, no? Oh no, you're not. Why? Well, because it's not fun if that's the trait that everyone has. It's not fun if everyone is a combo heavy damage. It's not fun if everyone is a country damage. It's not fun if everyone is a rushdown character. But then, again, I'm having a conversation with him a couple of times, and he's like, he thinks that balance, he says that a game can be considered balanced, the characters level, the power level between the characters can be considered balanced because if everyone is super strong, the game is balanced. Because everyone is strong at the same level, that's what balancing means. But that's not the same definition. I see his point, but that's not for me what is the definition of balancing. Because balancing, yes, takes into consideration how the power level between different characters relates to each other, but at the same time, it takes in consideration what's the highest power level that there is in the game. And if all the power levels are even, more or less, but the general power level is above the scale, is over 9,000, there is no fucking balancing in place. There is nothing balanced in the Tekken 8 experience. Every time I'm playing, the last 2 days I've been playing, I get an headache. It's non-enjoyable and non-fun. And on top of that, they didn't even acknowledge shit. Arada has the decency at least to do not say anything. Murray answered one tweet to one person, the only person that apparently praised this game, which I don't have anything against him. He obviously is allowed to say his piece. But let me say one thing. This person is a person that apparently does not play online, he plays offline, he's the super casual, he's the person that this game is appealing to. Why do they need balance changes? They don't. So why these balance changes are catering people that is playing offline apparently? I just don't like, honestly, people says I don't see the vision, I don't understand the vision, or we used to say I see their vision, but it's crazy for me to see this vision. I can try to understand as much as I want, but the more I look at it, the more it's like, are you joking about that? Because it's not even, for a moment during season 1 I was thinking that what they were trying to do is throw shit on a wall and see what sticks. But no. They know exactly what they're doing, apparently. And it's just, they don't care. They don't care, and I'm looking at this review bombing now, and looking how many negative reviews there are, and for how much I love the franchise, I bought a copy, an original copy of Tekken 1 the other day, because I saw it in a market and I wanted it, and it was like so cool. I bought it the other day, because I love the franchise. I've been playing this game for 26 years. I gave these people in my mind 1 year of, okay, they're gonna make it right, they're gonna adjust it. You know, they released the defense patch and things are starting to move in the right direction. The game became way more enjoyable. It's like, okay, it looks like they start to, orientate the car in the right direction. They're gonna drive it right. And then no, then they just oriented it to a wall and slam into it. And for how much I hate seeing these reviews so down for Tekken, a part of me thinks, you know what, they deserve it. Because it's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 months this game is out. It's been 1 year. And for 1 year, at least for the second part of the year, this is what they were working on. So they deserve this. This is the praise that they deserve for their work. Very simple. Simple as that. I completely agree. I'm usually not I'm not usually super in favor of review bombing. I think that there needs to be an extent, but probably this situation is making me understand that sometimes review bombing is correct. It makes me understand maybe when people felt betrayed because they were expecting a certain experience from a game and they got lied to their face. Thinking about No Man's Sky, thinking about Cyberpunk. Yeah, the games deserved what they received, because now I see. This game made me open my eyes in so many things, in so many negative things of the gaming industry. About pre-ordering Ultimate Editions, about review bombing. Tekken 8 told me this. And don't get me wrong, there are two ways that this can go now. One is, which is very improbable, but is my deepest hope, a U-turn. A U-turn is they take away Season 2 and they say Season 2 comes out in a month. In 2 months. And I will accept that. I would accept that. It would be a massive money loss. It would be a waste of months of work. Yes. But this is what they gave us. And I'm gonna double check. So on Steam charts, I have it open in front of me. The day of the release of Season 2, the peak player was 16,100 players roughly. The second day was 11,100. They lost after the day of the most weighted update of the lifespan of a fighting game. They lost already 5,000 players. 5,000. And I want to see how many are gonna be tomorrow. And I would like to see as well how many of these 11,000 are actually enjoying and having fun with this bullshit. I force myself to play this game just because I want to be able to articulate what I'm saying. I don't want to say, oh yeah, I saw this online. No, no, no. I experience it. And then I tell you what I experience. And yeah, it's daunting, it's depressing. Luckily, there are games like Monster Hunter. Luckily, there are games like Virtua Fighter. You know, when Chad says, oh yeah, I'm a Virtua Fighter refugee and everything. Guys, guys, spend £15, $15, $20, 20 euros, £15. How much it is? Probably, if you get a Steam key, is even cheaper. And just try it. Buy it for trying it as a demo. And then you tell me what a 3D fighting game it should be. Because this is not Tekken. This is not a 3D fighting game. There is no ability involved, there is no skill, there is no knowledge, there is no reading, there is no timing, there is no movement. There is nothing. Nothing all of all of this. Just rush down your opponent until you die. The reason why I'm doing this video is because in the last lobby I was playing against Lydia, Feng, Xiaoyu, and these kind of characters, and Leo. Which you can say, oh yeah, but they're all stance character, but every character is a stance character now. And even if your character is not a stance character like Brian, they want you to play like this. Because if you try to play like in Season 1, it doesn't work anymore. If you try to stay away and use timing against opponents, it doesn't work anymore, because they're always at your face. Because they can always skip neutral and approach you with a plus a million mid. There is no neutral in this game. There is no of that. There is no movement, spacing, baiting. There is nothing of that. There is nothing. You have an up kick, you throw your up kick. Don't try to block low, just throw your up kick. You have an orbital, throw your orbital. If you're lucky, you win. If not, well, hey. Skill issue, gets better. But yeah, guys, I'm not gonna edit this video. You get it out as it is. And guess I'll see you Friday. We're gonna talk about this shit all together. But apart from that, I've been depressed. You've been awesome. And I'll see you next time. Ciao.